believe it or not, I completely missed an entire generation's worth of JRPGs. Whether I was too caught up in high school stuff or too busy being a moody teenager, who knows? There's so many games that I haven't even played, let alone heard of yet. So in today's video, I'm going to be covering some of the 7th generation Xbox 360 and PS3 JRPGs and a couple of other fun ones that I bought recently, and just show them off and let you guys know my thoughts. And I would also like to take recommendations and grab your opinions on which games I should play first out of everything else. Really excited for this one, and as always, don't forget to like and subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and leave a comment down below. Again, yes, let me know along the way which ones I should play first, which ones I should maybe not play. I don't know. This is going to be a fun one-off pickups video. I never do these, so let's just do something fun this week. So a couple of weeks ago, I put together a video saying JRPGs I've never played. On that list was this one here, Lost Odyssey. Now, this was really interesting because 2 days after I put that video up, I actually searched in Facebook Marketplace. I thought, you know what the heck, let's just look up Xbox 360. And I actually found an Xbox 360 in a lot of the console, which is here. It's an Xbox 360E. It's a little beat up. This is the Xbox 360 that came out when the Xbox One came out. I saw this in a lot with like 17 other games for 70 bucks. And I thought, wow, I can't pass that up. And lo and behold, in the very bottom corner of the listing, I saw Lost Odyssey. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is the perfect time to pounce on this because I've always wanted to play this. And I literally just made a video about it. So I asked the seller, is it still available? You know, are all 4 discs there? Yes, yes, yes. So I managed to grab that. That was really great. I sold the rest of the 15 or 16 games that came with it. I don't care. Most of the Halo stuff I own digitally on Steam, and everything else is just kind of not interesting to me. And I put that towards the cost of getting a controller because it didn't come with a controller, but that's really fun. I'm on disc 3 of Lost Odyssey right now. I think 24 hours or so in. I'm going to reserve my thoughts on this and talk about this next week or maybe the week after whenever I beat this, because I do have a lot I want to say. And yeah, Lost Odyssey, I will refrain from any thoughts, but yeah, number 1 on the list. Next up is Blue Dragon. This is another Mistwalker game. Hironobu Sakaguchi developed Lost Odyssey and Blue Dragon under his studio Mistwalker. This is really cool. This is another one that I've really been wanting to play. And this is 3 of the 4 mega creators behind Chrono Trigger. So you have Hironobu Sakaguchi, Akira Toriyama, and Nobuo Uematsu as well. So super exciting. It's going to be a long time coming for me to actually play this. And this is another multi-disc game as well. I didn't realize there's actually 3 discs in here. I love some turn-based stuff that's created by the masterminds of Final Fantasy, so this is really exciting. So I'm interested to know. Let me know your thoughts on this one. Next up, we have Eternal Sonata. Now, this is one that I actually played a little bit in high school, and it may or may not be the best version to play because supposedly the PlayStation 3 version has an extra character and some added stuff. But to be honest with you, I played this a little bit in high school, like I just said, so I wanted to play the 360 version because that's kind of what I'm nostalgic for. This is a Namco game, and I'm super excited for kind of like a faster action-packed action RPG battle system. Not necessarily turn-based, but this is a really exciting one that I had a soft spot for growing up, but I just never finished it for whatever reason. Now, in my search for great JRPGs for Xbox 360, there actually admittedly wasn't a whole lot, so I was able to buy a fair handful of them. There's still a couple more that I want to grab, but some of the ones that I really haven't heard of are the next ones here. So first up, we have The Last Remnant. This is a Square Enix game, and I'll read the back of the box here because I know nothing about it. So, the remnants, scattered relics of a bygone age. Throughout history, they have been used for great good and untold evil. Now a mysterious figure has emerged, seemingly intent on seizing them all. Meanwhile, a young man scours the land for his kidnapped sister. Could her abduction be linked to the struggle for control over these awesome artifacts? More than likely, yeah, probably. This is one that I'm really looking forward to as well. A lot of these Xbox 360 games I bought from the same seller on eBay, so they've come from one collection into my collection here, which is really exciting. And then, yeah, The Last Remnant, I haven't heard necessarily like amazing things about it, but it seems to be a bit of a sleeper hit if it connects with you. Next up is another Square game. We have Infinite Undiscovery. You look like a hero, now act like one. When a fearsome army calling itself the Order of Change shackles the moon to the earth, unassuming boy named Capel, who bears a starting resemblance to the hero of the people, is hurled into the midst of a conflict that will ultimately decide the fate of the world. Now, this is interesting. I didn't know this. Here on the back of the box, it says, from the creators of Star Ocean and Valkyrie Profile comes an epic action-adventure RPG featuring exhilarating real-time combat, intense action sequences, and cutting-edge graphics, and a soaring orchestral score. It's so funny because, like, I remember at the time when these games would have been released, these graphics were pretty okay, and I still look at them and think, wow, they actually look pretty okay, but some of them haven't aged well necessarily, but I think they look okay. Okay, so that's it for Xbox 360 JRPGs. Just a couple of fun ones here. I was a big fan of this series growing up, and I had to buy them because both of the games were $7 total. And we have Project Gotham Racing 3 and 4. You know, they're not JRPGs, just something fun that I like to play every now and again. I loved PGR 3. This was really fun, but when I was in high school, I think my freshman year, PGR 4 came out. This was super fun, super realistic racing fun. It's like more arcadey than anything else. So it's not necessarily like Gran Turismo racing sim, but it's still fun nonetheless. And I really loved putting in the Black Mage's songs. Nobuo Uematsu, his Final Fantasy like band project back in the 360 days, used to be able to install your music to the hard drive, I think, and I would always play along with or race along with Black Mage's music. So I guess, yeah, kind of JRPG adjacent, but these are really fun. You can get them really cheap as well. Last up for the Xbox, we have Panzer Dragoon Orta. Now this was a really fun game. There's so much that I want to play in the Panzer series, like Panzer Dragoon Saga and for the Sega Saturn, but that's one that I want to have physically in order to play, just because, you know, that's just how my brain works. All of these games I could have emulated somewhat, but I have to buy them in order for me to feel compelled to play them. I remember back in the early 2000s at the Schuylkill Mall in Frackville, Pennsylvania, I went to Electronics Boutique or EB Games, whatever was early. I think it was Electronics Boutique at that point, getting my very first Xbox and buying Panzer Dragoon Orta. It's a really fun on-rails game, and I love the different dragons and stuff that you can ride on. Super fun. Again, it's not JRPG, but I maybe suppose JRPG adjacent because there's a JRPG in this series, but fun game. It'll be interesting to play all over again 20 years later. Now hang on, before we get to the PlayStation 3 stuff, did you guys know that over 90% of the people that watch my channel on the regular are not subscribed? That's a huge number. So if you guys like Final Fantasy stuff, JRPG content, RPG content, I would love to have you here week in and week out. So don't forget to like and subscribe. And yeah, let's check out some of the PlayStation 3 stuff. There's a lot of great games here that I'm really looking forward to getting to. Now this is really interesting because I figured while I'm going for Xbox 360 stuff, I might as well grab myself a PlayStation 3. So I grabbed myself a PlayStation 3 Slim off of the Facebook Marketplace. It's pretty clean. I've cleaned it up. I've had to take it apart and clean it out. That's just what I do. I like to remove everybody else's finger cheese from pre-owned consoles and controller. It's disgusting, honestly. So I have to be very over the top and clean everything out. But I figured, you know what, while I'm going, let's just grab PS3 from the Marketplace. I got a decent deal on that, and explore some PlayStation 3 JRPGs, because while I was a little bit more familiar with some of the 360 stuff, there's so much PlayStation 3 stuff that I just have never even heard of. So one of the ones that we're going to start out with here is a Sega game. This is Valkyria Chronicle. I know there's been some new games in this series, but this is one I know absolutely nothing about. And on my brief Google searches, this one came up as maybe not the best one on the console, but one that I think I might really enjoy because it seems to be more strategy based. I don't know whether it's necessarily like a tactics style game or if it's maybe more turn based, but I'm really looking forward to this either way. It's going to be so wild to play PlayStation 3 again. Wow, what a time to be alive. Now this is one that I remember buying the day that it came out, and I think I got stuck somewhere early on, so I've never come back to it, but this is really interesting. Ni no Kuni. Now I do own this game on Steam. I could play it on my Steam Deck more conveniently, but I figured, you know what, this game was like $8 on eBay, so I figured let's just buy it. Comes with the manual and everything else. Most of these games are complete. I usually don't buy physical games when they're not complete if I can help it, because I like to actually have most of the tangible stuff there. But this will be really fun. I enjoyed Ni no Kuni years and years ago. I think that came out in like 2012 or something, but it's a level 5 game, a little bit of Studio Ghibli inspired stuff there, so can't go wrong with that. And maybe it'll lead me to Ni no Kuni 2, a game that has totally evaded me, I know nothing about. But yeah, it's really interesting, and I loved the childish charm that this game had, and with the turn-based action fun. It's going to be great to replay. Now this is one that I actually played on the PlayStation Vita many years ago, and this was Dragon's Crown. I didn't really enjoy it when I played it back then. I wasn't really in like a turn-based or JRPG or RPG phase. I just picked it up because admittedly there wasn't really much on the Vita when this came out, but I'm excited to check this out. It's an Atlas game. A lot of the NIS America stuff, the NIS stuff seems to go over very well. It's very, I wouldn't necessarily say it's niche, but it's very popular in the circles of RPGs and JRPGs and stuff. And if you're watching this, chances are you're probably an NIS fan as well. So different classes and stuff that you can play as, skill trees, multiplayer, which probably can't even do anymore. But I think it'd be fun to just play something different that's not necessarily like a 100% turn-based JRPG. And I think it'd be fun to just experiment and check out what different classes there are. Again, I played only a little bit of it. It didn't didn't really hold my attention, but that was when I was like 21 or something, or 20, and now I'm 31. I'm more distinguished, and I like some deeper games with more harder to customize and master stuff. I don't know. We'll see. Now, this is a game that I've always wanted to play. I remember seeing it when it was brand new on the shelves, back when the PlayStation 3 was a thing, and this is White Knight Chronicles. I know there's also a sequel for this, so I do look forward to playing this, hopefully enjoying it, and then moving on to the sequel. But this was one that I've always just been interested in. I've just always found the cover art pretty compelling for whatever reason. So I know nothing about this. This is another level 5 game, and I know some people are really hoping for this game to be like remastered or ported to modern consoles, so it must have some sort of fan base. And the interesting thing is, throughout this video I'll have gameplay for each respective game, and you would have already seen that at this point. I mean, we're probably well over 10 minutes into the video, but it'll be the first time that I'll actually have seen anything from 95% of these games. Very interesting. So I want to know what are your thoughts on White Knight Chronicles? I'm interested to know, because this is one that I've always wanted to play. And I do have kind of high expectations here, because this is a From Software title, and this one is Enchanted Arms. Again, another game that I know absolutely nothing about, but on the back it says master the speed, tactics, battle system, and motion sensitive controller. So I don't know. It's going to be funny, because with the 6-axis stuff, it might feel a little bit gimmicky. We'll see. I mean, especially compared to the PlayStation 5 controller nowadays, which is a lot more advanced with haptics and feedback and stuff, and the gyro, whatever. All you kids and your gyros, I don't know, whatever you're doing. But it says over 50 hours of gameplay, additional cutscenes, rearranged story. It was on the list of some of the most okayest PlayStation 3 JRPGs, and I don't know if there's like truly like the most amazing one, but this seemed to be in everybody's like top 15, if even there was 15 JRPGs that were really great on the PlayStation 3. So Enchanted Arms, I think I could have bought this on 360 as well, but I decided to get it on PS3. Just might as well. I've got a PS3 now, so let's just get it. Now, this is one I think I bought when it first came out. I can't remember if it was this or another game in the Tales series, but this one is Tales of Exilia. I also thought that I bought Tales of Grace's F in this order, but I didn't for some reason. Maybe it just didn't make the cart. I don't know. I'm buying a lot of games at once, so I just maybe thought I added to cart. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. But Tales of Exilia, I'm not a massive fan of the Tales series. I've only ever played Tales of Symphonia, and I had to dip out because we had a baby when I was in the middle of the playthrough, and I just never got back to it. Admittedly, I have it on Steam, and I want to play that. But Tales of Exilia, I figured I would get some of the Tales of games for PlayStation 3, because that seemed to be the most consistent series on the PS3 in that console generation. So Tales of Exilia, I'm hoping I'm going to enjoy it. And same with Tales of Grace's F. I do need to go and buy that, because I actually thought I bought it. When I opened the package, I'm like, where's Tales of Grace's F? Oh, I guess I didn't buy it, but that one got remastered and is coming out soon here anyway. So, the Tales series, again, it's not a series that I've 100% gotten into, but maybe this would be the one to actually, push me over the edge and get into the series. Okay, we got 2 more games here. They're not JRPGs, they're kind of action-y and maybe a little bit role-playing-y, so please stay tuned for these. I'm excited to show these off. First one here is 3D Game Heroes. This is a really fun, like, Zelda clone game that I really liked back in high school. I never got really far, and I know it's a game that you can beat in under 20 hours, so I'm really excited to get back into this. And the cool thing about the PlayStation 3 is it's region free. So I've got the NTSC version here, and most of the other games I've got are PAL. The ESRB logo stuff just looks normal to me. Being somebody who's from the NTSC region, seeing all the PAL cases just doesn't look right. So nice to have a bit of the home style taste here with the ESRB logo. But I really enjoyed this. I think you can create your own characters or something like that. I don't know. But it does on the back. It says create your own pixelated heroes and trade them with friends. But yeah, I remember being able to upgrade your sword, and you have this giant, like 60 foot long by 60 foot wide sword. I don't know. It's cool. Fun game. Now, last but certainly not least, this was actually my best score of this entire pickups video. This game I featured in one of my recent tier lists. And admittedly, it was a game that I emulated on my Steam Deck. And now I don't feel so bad by saying that, because I've purchased the physical copy. I just could not get it to emulate well enough. And I figured, you know what, let's see if we can actually buy it. And I'm talking about Yakuza Dead Souls. It's not going to focus. Yakuza Dead Souls. This was a game that I was absolutely shocked at the prices of on eBay. They are going from at least like minimum 200 to 300 Australian dollars for sold items and buy it nows and whatever. The only reason I think this one went for as cheap as it did is because it doesn't actually have the clear slip-on case, but I really don't care, to be honest with you. So Yakuza Dead Souls, it's complete with the manual. How much did I pay for it? Well, it was a auction with the option to make an offer. So I figured, what the heck, we'll give him $50. Because that was the reserve price, or the lowest price for the auction. And lo and behold, it got accepted. So I was like, oh my gosh, I've like saved like over $200, $300 almost on Yakuza Dead Souls. And I'm not really fussed about like the slipcase and stuff. I mean, sure, it would be nice to have, but I've got the disc. It's in pretty decent shape. It's not my favorite Yakuza game by any means, and it was lowest on my Yakuza tier list. But I still want to be able to like fully see the game through. And yeah, I'm really excited to check that out and play it on my PlayStation 3. And yeah, see how we go. So there you have it. There are my 7th gen pickups. 98% of them are JRPGs, a couple JRPG adjacent games. I do like games other than JRPGs, of course, but it's my favorite genre. So I gotta, spice it up every now and again. I'm sure you understand. But yeah, let me know down below in the comments which games I should check out next after Lost Odyssey. And yeah, I normally don't do pickups videos, but I just figured let's just have an extra week as a buffer while I finish Lost Odyssey before I make a proper deep dive video on that, which I'm really looking forward to. Anyway, thank you so much for watching today. And yeah, we'll see you again next week. Thanks so much for watching.